Deku is angry. Aizawa is missing a leg. So what the hell happened? Find out this chapter on My Hero Academia. Good morning, pizza people. As you see, chapter 282 just dropped on the timeline, and there's a lot to explain going forward, especially with his character arc and how this series is going to treat him going forward, and it's a lot to unwrap, so let's talk about it. To start off, pizza people, this chapter is going to continue right where we left off in chapter 281, right? And in chapter 281, it kind of ended with a sort of a cliffhanger where Deku was trying to hold on to Shigaraki, but Shigaraki was able to still move anyway, so he flicked a bullet that takes away quirks in order to stop Aizawa from shutting down his quirks, because, you know, Eraserhead shutting down Shigaraki's powers, and it's kind of been hindering Shigaraki this whole time from bodying literally everyone on the battlefield, even though he still is kind of running through people, but not bodying them as hard as if he was to have his quirk. So to be honest, Aizawa has been the real clutch factor in this arc, and Shigaraki is kind of pissed off at that, so he's been trying to stop it. So when he is trying to flick the bullet at Aizawa and Rocklock or whatever, Deku is trying his 100% best to stop this, okay? So I'm talking about, like, Deku is going all out in order to restrain this dude, and to honestly, I think Deku's trying to kill him at this point, okay? Because Deku, like, while him and Shigaraki are having this whole little power struggle, power debate or whatever between them, as he's trying to get loose in order to flick the bullet, Deku smacks him with a 100% beyond Wyoming smash, bro. Like, Deku does not care if his body's gonna get destroyed at this point. He wants Shigaraki dead, bro. And honestly, it's understandable because, like we forgot last chapter, Gran Torino did get bodied, and Deku's still feeling the effects, and he's still pissed off from that. And so in this chapter, right, it's almost like Shigaraki just eats that 100% Wyoming smash that Deku just whipped out of nowhere, right? And it's almost like Shigaraki's an animal at this point, bro. So he just bites Deku's arm with no, like, air in the world, bro. Like, it's COVID season and Shigaraki's out here putting his whole mouth on people. Like, chill out, bro. But yeah, Shigaraki bites Deku's forearm and blood spurts out everywhere, okay? Like, Shigaraki's almost like an animal at this point, bro. Like, he doesn't care what he has to do in order to stop Aizawa at this point, but he will do it, bro. Like, he doesn't care if he has to bite people. He's going for cheap shots, biting and everything, bro. It's weird. And you guys remember how I mentioned earlier that Deku doesn't really care? Well, in this chapter, it's almost like we get some inner thoughts of Deku, and he's like, you know what, I don't care about the consequences of using 100%, bro. He did Gran Torino dirty, so I'm gonna do whatever it takes to do him dirty, and that's exactly why he's whipping out 100% beyond Wyoming smashes, bro. Deku is mad, bro. Like, I don't know how many times I have to reiterate this, but he is pressed. Like, we're not just gonna forget about Gran Torino's death. Like, it's killing Deku mentally right now. I know it is. And sadly, that bullet that Shigaraki flicked at Aizawa and Rocklock or whatever, it hit, and it sadly hits Aizawa. So we get a kind of continuation of what we were cliffhanged on last chapter, and we see that Aizawa actually was the person to get hit. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I saw this and I thought it was all hopes over. Like, Aizawa was gonna end up closing his eyes, and Shigaraki's gonna run through everybody. Deku's dead, Aizawa's dead. It's no hope anymore, bro. But we have this moment go from an all hope lost type of moment to a Aizawa is a GOAT clutch god type of moment, okay? And it's one of the sweetest moments of the series too, right? Because right when that bullet hits his leg, Aizawa doesn't hesitate, okay? And he thinks about Eri, and he's like, hey, yo, thanks to you, thanks to my little daughter or whatever, that little relationship that they've got going, that he's able to do this. So he pulls out a knife and he chops off his leg, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro, Aizawa chops off his own leg in order to make sure that his quirk doesn't get deactivated, bro. He is serious when he wants to make sure that he will do anything in order to win this battle, bro. And I can only respect Aizawa for that, bro, because I don't know many characters that would really be about it enough in order to cut off their leg just to not lose their quirk, you know what I mean? Maybe, just maybe, Lemillion, but I don't know. So the battle continues, and Shigaraki still has a little bit of effects of his quirk or whatever. I don't know what he's doing. I guess this is a natural part of his body now, but he activates some type of shockwave effect, and it sends like Deku off of him or whatever. So he's able to get loose of Deku, and then Deku tries to pull out his black whip again, but it's too late because he's already in front of Aizawa and whatever. Because Shigaraki's fast, man. We cannot forget this. Like, Shigaraki's like Mach speed type of person. So as soon as Deku let go, he did not waste that moment. He put up right in the face of Aizawa in order to body him, because he realized that cutting off his quirk didn't work. And it's almost funny, right? Because this is our second all hope lost moment, bro. Because as soon as Deku lets go and he's right in front of Aizawa once again, he says, "It's all over, Aizawa," because Shigaraki got some personal beef with him, I guess, because Aizawa been holding him down this whole match and basically like making sure he's weak as hell, and he's getting bodied by Aizawa in this little cat and mouse game they're sort of playing with Aizawa shutting down his quirk, I guess. So I guess Shigaraki's pissed off about that. But you wouldn't believe who comes in clutch last minute, and it's the third of the big three of my hero, Todoroki the GOAT. And turns out this whole time that Todoroki was following him and tracking him down in order to stop him, because Shigaraki thinks back and is like, "Hey yo, this kid has been on my tail for a minute," but he was just too busy focused on Deku that he didn't realize the true backup threat was the GOAT Todoroki. Because we can't forget about Todoroki, who's the third big three of Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki, you know? And I like that Horikoshi is not letting us forget him, because I'm gonna be honest, with us not seeing him do much these like past few chapters, especially in this war arc, I was starting to forget about him and almost feeling like he was kind of falling off to the side and Horikoshi was gonna just write him off like some typical shonen writer. But I can't doubt him. It's Horikoshi, bro. He wouldn't do nothing like this. But Todoroki throws this huge ice blast at Shigaraki that sends him flying, like kind of catching him from the side or whatever. One of the coldest parts of the chapter is that Deku follows up from that ice blast with a huge ass uppercut, and he wraps his arm in the black whip to uppercut Shigaraki, bro. Like, Deku is combining these quirks now, and I feel like that's just a small sample of what we're gonna see him do in the future when he combines these quirks. And I read somewhere that he's almost using the black whip as almost like a brace in order to make it easier for him to use 100% on Shigaraki in order to hold him back. And I want to refer back to the My Hero movie or whatever, because that little red arm wrap that he had in the My Hero movie is kind of like a brace, so he could use 100% a lot more easier without one for all like damaging him as much. And so after Deku sticks him or whatever, this sort of battle or sort of cat and mouse game kind of comes to an end, well, for at least a couple of chapters, right? Because after Deku does that uppercut, we have Deku going and gliding Aizawa and Lockjaw to safety, because Aizawa is knocked out now and he has to make sure that they don't get bodied. So you know what this means. Shigaraki basically has his quirks back now. That's a scary feeling, but Horikoshi doesn't want to give us too much of this. And so this whole little segment ends with us hearing Shigaraki say, "Even if you guys try to delay this outcome, all I'm waiting for is ruin." And that's kind of scary, bro. And we just get a whole little villain dialogue, because Aizawa is knocked out now and Shigaraki is no longer bleeding and he's finally starting to recover. So that's hella scary. But that whole segment ends off there, and then we cut back to the other heroes such as Ida, and they're just looking at the whole destruction path that Gigantomachia caused. And I really feel like Horikoshi is going to cut to what they've been doing this whole time, because I don't think he wants to give us too much of this whole fight, because who's going to care about what Ida is doing, especially after we see this whole thing between Aizawa, Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki now come to a conclusion. So I think he's just going to give us that for a few chapters, and then we're going to cut back to the Shigaraki fight. So don't expect the whole Shigaraki fight for at least a few chapters, maybe 2 or 3. But other than catching up on what Ida is doing or whatever, right? The main point of this chapter, I really feel it's like Horikoshi is setting up Aizawa to be this Kakashi sort of character, right? Like, I feel like, honestly, by the end of this, like, with how much Aizawa is going through, that he is one of the only people that deserves a happy ending, bro. Like, his friend died, his other friend is bodied somewhere. I don't know if Loudmouth is either dead or he's just injured, but his friends are somewhere scattered and he just lost a leg. And I feel like just by the end of this or whatever, that Aizawa is gonna be that one character like Kakashi who went through so much hell, but that finally gets his happy ending by the end of this. And I really hope that's what Horikoshi is trying to do, bro, because I don't know if I can handle Aizawa dying, bro. He's been through so much, and for a tragic character like that to not get the ending he deserves would honestly hurt, bro. Like, we just have Gran Torino get bodied, bro. I can't have Aizawa get bodied within the next week, bro. It just wouldn't be fair. And plus, he has a kid now. He's taking care of Eri. That's basically like his foster daughter at this point, bro. And I just can't see Aizawa leave Eri behind, bro. I don't think Eri could handle that. And it's honestly really cute seeing him set up this whole father-daughter relationship between them even more, bro. Because honestly, I need more of that. I need more happy Aizawa with his daughter, bro. That's beautiful. And I like that he's just this tragic character who's getting this one bright life in his life, and that is Eri, bro. By the end of the series, the development that Aizawa might have if he's alive will be amazing, bro. With everything that Eraserhead has been through, this is one of the best characters that Horikoshi has won throughout the series, along with Todoroki, Bakugo, and so many others. So this is primarily an Aizawa focused chapter. We didn't get too much Gran Torino focus, even though he just got bodied. I'm sure we're going to reflect back on that maybe next week or in a couple of weeks when they have some downtime to actually sit and think and the adrenaline gets to go down. Like, we'll get a bunch of sad Deku chapters for a little while, and he might even get Gran Torino's cape for all we know. But yeah, pizza people, this is really just an Aizawa development chapter, and he's getting the Kakashi treatment where he's just doing whatever it takes to come in clutch. He's the main clutch factor in this battle, like how when Kakashi got the Mangekyo Sharingan. But pizza people, that's all I really have to say for this chapter. It was a lot to unpack. I think it was a little bit more of a longer chapter, and shout out to the people on Twitter that put out translations once again. This was a really important chapter, back-to-back weeks. Thank you, Horikoshi. And Chapter 282 was a banger. But until next time, pizza people, I have more My Hero videos that you guys should check out. I have a theory video on My Hero uploaded a couple days ago. That's pretty good. But I'll see you pizza people on the other side of the slice. My name is Time Peace, and I'll see you pizza people later. Peace.